How have you kept in touch?
Writing. We just write each other.
Every time he writes, you know, and even sometimes when he don't, if there's a little gap there, and he's probably in a hole or something. I write anyway.
Travion Blount grew up in Ocean View, a few blocks from the Chesapeake Bay. The third of Angela Blount's 6 children, he was quiet and shy, but otherwise typical. He played football and basketball in the neighborhood. On most weekends, he visited his father, Patrick Mills. Mills, a grocery stock clerk, taught his son to fish and took him to the local pancake house. They watched action movies together.
Everybody loved Travion. Because Travion seemed like he was always the problem solver. He was of the neighborhood. Everybody go to Travion, asking him this and asking him that. It's up to Travion.
Blount hated school. He hid in the bathroom when the teacher called on him to stand up in front of class and give an oral report. By 9, he was skipping classes. By 11, he was in a gang.
At that particular time, that block of years, you know, it started. Him being a teenager, it comes out of all of us. He's hard to talk to, he's disgruntled, he's difficult, in denial. Oh, I don't do anything wrong. Typical stuff.
You know, by me having 6 kids, that one-on-one time, you try to give everybody that one-on-one time, but I don't think I showed enough attention to him. I really think that. And he just felt, you know, he was looking for love on the outside of the home, I guess.
I mean, as I got older, I was introduced to banging, and from there it just went south from there. I mean, not saying I didn't love my family, but it was just I was paying more attention to my new family than my real family, and I just got caught up.
Blount fell in with a new best friend, Morris Mo Downing. Downing was 3 years older and a veteran gangbanger, according to court records. To Blount, he was a big brother.
He do not mean you no good. You ain't nothing but 15 years old, and you hanging with him. What is he hanging with a kid for? You's a kid. I say something is wrong with that picture.
I didn't give up, even though it turned out that it wasn't too successful. I didn't give up.
On the night of September 23, 2006, Downing and David Nichols, both 18, and Blount, then 15, robbed a house party at a reputed drug dealer's house in the Glenwood neighborhood. According to court records, Downing and Blount flashed guns. The robbers collected small amounts of cash and marijuana. The dozen victims were all in their teens or early 20s. Downing pistol-whipped one teen boy, according to testimony. Otherwise, no one was hurt. No shots were fired. Police caught the 3 teens within days. Downing and Nichols, both legally adults, pleaded guilty to lesser charges. If Blount went to trial, it could cost him his life. But he refused the plea agreement.
He didn't want to do it. Did
he tell you why he didn't want to?
No, he never did tell me why. He said he just didn't want to do it. And so I tried to get his parents to, you know, talk to him, and that didn't work.
He just kept saying, I felt like I could beat it. I believe he was listening at people in the inside of the jail that he really didn't understand what was really actually going on.
He seemed kind of emotionally detached. You know, he's certainly competent to stand trial. He knew right from wrong and all that. But it just seemed like he couldn't comprehend the kind of trouble he was in.
I mean, at the time, juvenile life was fair. I was a juvenile. I mean, he could have sentenced me to juvenile life, if anything, and until I was 21, and gave me my shot at my adult life, and see where I went from there.
We have what do we call them? Jailhouse lawyers. You know, the other convicts that he's housed with that will give him all this legal advice. I don't know where he got juvenile life from, and apparently he thought that juvenile life means you served time until you were 21. Now, for those kids out there who are thinking of committing crimes, there's no such a thing as juvenile life, okay? Just remember that.
Despite advice from his lawyer, mother, and even Downing, Blount went to trial. The circuit judge several times mentioned the risks and folly of taking the evidence to a jury. The judge told the lawyers from the bench, quote, "His life is over if the jury convicts him, and he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, and I'll have no control over it. In any event, I don't even have the ability to be merciful," end quote. After a 3-day trial, Blount was convicted on 49 of 51 counts.
I don't think Travion was in his right mind. I just don't think he understood what was going on. Deal or no deal, I don't think he understood. Because at the end of the day, when they did do his sentence, he turned around and looked at me and asked me what happened. What is happening?
6 life terms plus 118 years for somebody who didn't physically hurt anybody. And the sentence that he got is perfectly legal.
Did you know that there was a big risk if you went to trial?
I mean, my lawyer told me, but I didn't think it was going to be no risk like this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think nobody would think nothing like this.
Do you expect punishment for your role in the crime?
Yeah, I accept mine, but...
Yeah.
I accept it, but I think this is too far right here.
Do you think he should be punished for what he did?
Only for what he did. And that's it. The right punishment. You know?
Thing I want to say is I know he changed. He's not the same person, the little boy that he was when he first went in. He done a lot of growing up.
He was a delinquent, and he knows he was a delinquent. And I think that it's taken him several years to realize the road he was headed down, and actually the road that he's on for the rest of his life. I wish that I had that Travion when we did the trial. We'd be done with the case now. He just grew up.
Blount received a sentence in Virginia that, on paper, is longer than convicted Beltway sniper Lee Malvo. Malvo was also a juvenile when he committed the murders in the Commonwealth. As it stands, both will die in prison. Blount was sent to the maximum security prison in Wallens Ridge, near the Tennessee line. The state Supreme Court rejected his appeal. He's now seeking a new sentence in federal court.
I always question myself, did I give him the right advice and everything? I always ask myself that, you know, was I a good mother to him or anything like that? But, you know, I wish he had took the plea, you know, but I'm sorry that he didn't. I wish he never got in trouble, period, you know.